Farmies. I'd like to talk to you today about diuretics. So we give diuretics, usually a water pill. It works on the kidneys and helps the kidneys to remove salt and water, salt and water go together, which helps our body control our blood pressure. So we give diuretics, works on the kidneys, we have increased urine output. All right, so where does it work on the kidneys? So our kidneys, remember we have these little, here's our part of our kidney, we have a nephron. So mannitol is the diuretic that works to decrease ICP. Let me put this on here, decrease ICP, intracranial pressure. You can tell from our little diagram here that mannitol works in the first section of the nephron. The next part of the nephron that is affected, or the next medication we'll talk about, is furosemide. So the loop of Henle, this lower portion, is where furosemide works. The next one, if you're going to go kind of in our little pathway, is the distal convoluted tubule, is where hydrochlorothiazide works. I always abbreviate that HCTZ. Hydrochlorothiazide. So that's that little green section right there, the distal convoluted tubule. And then spironolactone is next. So mannitol, furosemide, hydrochlorothiazide, spironolactone. So remember, proximal is what is closest to us, distal is what is away. So distal tubule is how you can remember where hydrochlorothiazide is. And then finally spironolactone. Okay, so what do we need to remember about these meds? A couple of them have some things in common. So furosemide and hydrochlorothiazide cause the body to lose potassium along with salt and water because of where they work in the nephron. So with those patients, we're going to have to monitor them for hypokalemia. Furosemide and hydrochlorothiazide are going to cause us to lose potassium. So we're going to have to watch our electrolytes, right? We're going to be monitoring a BMP. Spironolactone, on the other hand, is our potassium-sparing diuretic. So because of where it works in the nephron, it helps us retain potassium. So if our patients are low in potassium and they need diuretics, we can give spironolactone, which will help them hang on to their potassium. So with these patients, we have to worry about the opposite. We worry about hyperkalemia. And we don't want to give them other meds like ACE inhibitors or salt substitutes that are very high in potassium. So spironolactone, we watch out for other things that cause us to hang on to potassium because we're worried about being too high in potassium. So I'm going to put next to spironolactone, I'm going to put potassium. We're going to worry about it for increased potassium because we hang on to it. Furosemide, and over here we have a decrease in potassium. All right. So what are we monitoring? So as nurses, we're going to be monitoring our I's and O's. This is going to tell us if any of these diuretic medications that we gave is effective. Are we getting an increase in urine output? We're going to give these in the morning because it's just cruel to give somebody a medication that is going to make them urinate and then, when they're tired at night. So we're going to give this in the morning, if at all possible. And then electrolytes, we have to monitor because we're either going to be worried about them having low potassium for Lasix and hydrochlorothiazide, or we're worried about high potassium with spironolactone. So we're monitoring those electrolytes. Remember, also we're worried about sodium in both of these cases too. So just watch out for their electrolyte panel. And then another way of monitoring our fluid status is going to be daily weights. So I's and O's, daily weights, electrolytes, give them in the morning, and then know which part of the tubule these work in. So I think it's kind of easy if you just kind of remember them in order: mannitol, furosemide, hydrochlorothiazide, spironolactone. So that's the little pathway that they follow. All right, I hope that helps us kind of remember what we're doing with our diuretics, why we're giving them, usually to reduce blood pressure, reduce fluid overload, and then the things that we need to monitor. All right, guys, have a great day.